Hey everybody, it's Brant from Bearded Builds. So today I want to talk about the X-carve, specifically because that's what I have, and the IOT Relay. I've seen a lot of questions lately, and I've answered a lot of questions, and I figured why not just make a video and just go over it start to finish. You know, the setup of it, what's required, what's not included in the box, and to even talk about some of the variations with like the JTech laser, because there's a couple of settings they have to switch back and forth if you have both. So let's get started. So to start off, this is the IoT Relay. Obviously this is my dust collection, and this is the router that's coming from the X-carve. What comes in the box of the IoT Relay is just this and the actual power cord that goes to your power source. This cable here doesn't even come in the box. What I went and got some doorbell wire from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's fairly inexpensive, and you can get it by the foot. So what you do is you've got your positive and negative, and then you run those to the back of your controller, as you can see here.
So the red wire, which in my case is the positive, is going to go to the spindle 0 to 10 volt, and then the white wire, which is the negative, is actually going to run to one of your open ground slots, as you can see in the picture.
So something to talk about for people that are new to GRBL is the GRBL settings. This is all of my GRBL settings that is currently on my machine. You will see right here I've got a laser on or router on, and obviously those are what has to switch back and forth to make sure that the relay works. If the laser settings are on, then the relay won't work the way it's supposed to, and vice versa. So just something to keep in mind. I will add a link to all of these settings, and you guys are free to use my settings. There's a couple of things that I've changed specifically for my machine and the way that I do things, and so I'll probably talk about those in other videos. So let's go and let's take a look at the settings in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my machine, turn it on. And so from Easel, what we're looking at here, you will actually go to the help section. Actually, sorry, it's the machine section, advanced, and then the machine inspector. So down here is where you can see all of those settings, and that's kind of where I pulled them all from. If yours is empty, all you do is you go in here and you do $2 signs, hit enter, and it will display all of your settings. So if you want to change these settings, we'll go back and we'll talk a little bit more about this. So you see 30, 31, 32, that's where my focus is on changing these things. In 30, that is where it talks about the max power. So in order for the relay to work, the max power has to be 1. So basically it's on or off, because you see down here the min power is 0. So here we're talking on or off. Obviously if you're using your laser, you have to have a variable setting, so that way you can have different heat burns with the laser. If you want the relay setting, it has to be on or off, so 1 or 0. So here we can see that right now my laser settings, I'm set to laser mode is off, and then I have my on off, which is 0 and 1 here. So like I said, that has to be that way. So we're looking at max power, minimum power, and laser mode, which is 32. One of the things that I've seen a lot of complaints about from people is that they set up the relay and they still have laser mode on, and one of the symptoms of that is the router will lift up and it will start to turn on and off as it lifts up to move to the next cut. So keep that in mind, that that's what laser mode does. If that's what your machine is doing, you need to turn laser mode off to make it work right. So easily you can change these settings. So for example, we'll change laser mode. So you literally just type in the setting and you say equals 1 to turn laser mode on, and you hit enter. So now you'll see that it reads laser mode is on. And then again, you can go in there, type your $signs, and it'll show down here that laser mode is on. And then same thing, we want to turn it off. 0 is laser mode off. Laser mode is off. And again, in the settings, it reflects that way. So last thing, through Easel, once you have all of those settings done, you do have to go to machine, and you have to make sure that this spindle control here is set to automatic. That way the machine automatically knows that when you start a carve in Easel, it will turn everything on, and then as soon as it's done, it will send the code to turn everything off. Okay, so now I have set up just a circle that is just barely cutting anything, and then I've set the carve so that way it's just one pass, just so the way we can see what the router does and the way that it should work. So let's go ahead and we will give it a run. And on this you don't have to home the machine, just go ahead and unlock. Because I just want it to carve in the air, we're just going to go ahead and just fly through this, and we'll just say manual, and we'll just say work from 0. We're going to go and raise the bit, attached, and spindle on.
Well, that's that. So hopefully if you have any questions, I've answered them. If you have any other questions, go ahead, throw in some comments. But I mean, like every other video out there, subscribe, hit that bell, you know what to do. My next video, I'm planning on putting together, I use light burn for my laser setup. So there's a couple of macros that you can actually use to make this process, switching back and forth between the laser and the IoT relay, really easy. So keep a lookout for that next.